Hi everyone, I'm Liam, preset developer at Archipelago Presets, and in this video we're taking a look at an incredible piece of software that I think every photographer and videographer should know about, and that's JPEGmini. So this app can drastically reduce the file size of your photos and videos without any perceptible loss in quality. Let's open it up and take a look. As you can see, we're presented with a nice, simple interface, and simplicity really is the name of the game with JPEGmini. So on the right-hand side, we have megabytes saved, number of photos and videos, percentage savings, and a tally for all time savings. In the center here is where you drop your photos, videos, and folders, or you can hit the browse button to locate them manually. And then on the left-hand side, you have tabs to navigate. So in here, we have an overview of stats. Next, we have settings. In here, we can choose whether it optimizes the original files. This option will replace the file with a new optimized version, which is considerably smaller, or we can have it export the optimized file to a new location and leave the originals untouched. Optimizing the originals will retain the same dimensions, but shrink the file size. When we export to folder, we can choose to change the dimensions if we wish. This is handy for things like creating social media or web-friendly versions to share online. Lastly, we have the Automations tab, which is a powerful new feature just recently launched with version 4.5, and we'll check that out later in the video. So let's start by showing you the magic of JPEGmini. So I've got some images here that I shot with my friend Amelia. These were taken on my Fujifilm GFX 100S, which is a 102 megapixel medium format camera. So it kicks out some pretty chunky files. Taking a look at this one here, it's 94.9 megabytes with a dimension size of 11,648 pixels by 8,738 pixels. I'm going to run this through JPEGmini and optimize the original file. So simply drag and drop. And as you can see, we've saved 65.78 megabytes, which is 69.3% of the original file size. Looking at the info, we can see that the file is now just 29.1 megabytes, but the image dimensions remain the same. So still 11,648 pixels by 8,736. So now let's take that same image and resize the dimensions. So I'm going to go into settings, choose export to folder, and in the drop down, I'm going to select the built-in preset for Instagram. This will resize the files to the perfect dimensions for posting on social media. So let's head back to the main screen, drag and drop the full resolution file, and there we go. We now have a perfectly optimized photo ready for sharing on Instagram. Now let's do the same for a whole folder of images. So I've got 18 full resolution images in here. Let's optimize these in real time. So that took a matter of seconds and it saved me more than a gigabyte in file size. So I've now got a folder full of perfectly optimized photos ready for sharing. Now let's take a look at the brand new automation feature. So this is a powerful new way to automate the process of optimizing and resizing your photos and videos, further simplifying your workflow. So let's create our first automation. I'm going to give it a name. Now I need to tell it which folder to watch. This is where it will source the photos and videos to optimize. So I'm going to create a folder called Originals. Now I can select where it's going to send the optimized versions, and for this I'm going to create a folder called Optimized. Then I can set the resize options, and what's really clever is you can actually have multiple resize options for photos and videos within the same automation. So for my photos, I want to have an original resolution for printing. I want a version for my website, so I'll choose the gallery preset, which sets the width to 2048 pixels. And I want an Instagram version with a width of 1080 pixels. For video, I just want to optimize the original. And then down at the bottom, we can set how long JPEGmini will keep the originals before removing them from the disk. So these are kept within a hidden folder on your computer for that period of time, giving you a window to retrieve them if needed. Once you're happy, you can create your automation. And what's great is you could have multiple automations running at the same time, each pointed to a different folder. So there's a ton of flexibility. Up here, we can access the settings to make changes to the automation. We've got the option to retrieve the originals within the time frame that we set, plus options to delete or deactivate each automation. So now let's see it in action. I'm going to take this whole folder of photos and drop it into the originals folder. JPEGmini will get to work, and if I head over to the optimize folder, we can start to see the photos appearing. The automation creates folders for each of the resize options we selected, and if we head back to the originals folder, we can see that it's now empty, keeping things clean and organized. And what's amazing is this actually runs in the background, so JPEGmini doesn't even need to be open. You can simply export directly from Lightroom into that originals folder, and it will automatically start the process in the background. Super, super clever. So that's JPEGmini, an indispensable piece of software to optimize your photos and videos. If you'd like to find out more, head to jpegmini.com. And if you're looking for more photo and video related tools, head to archipelagopresets.com to browse our catalog of Lightroom presets, video LUTs, and creative toolsets, all featuring the very latest digital technology. So that's it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.